All right, we're going to rewrite this expression as a single term of the form a to the nth power, where n is a positive integer. So n should be the positive integer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the inside of the parenthesis, which is here. So a to the fifth power times by a to the negative third power. We're multiplying the same base, like we're multiplying the power with the same base. So now what you're going to do is you're going to add these two exponents, 5 and negative 3. So it's going to be a to the what power? Positive 2 power. So it's going to be a to the second power. And we have another second outside. So over, and I'm going to simplify negative 4 and 3. So this is going to be a to the 4, negative 4 plus 3. So what is negative 4 plus 3? It's negative first power. So a to the second power to the second power. This means a to the second power to the second power. It means you multiply a to the second power how many times? Second times. So a to the second. So the total number of a's you're multiplying here, it's 4. So we have a to the fourth power over a to the negative first power. So now we're dividing. When you divide powers with the same base, that means you are subtracting these two numbers. So let's subtract 4 minus negative 1. So it's going to be a to the what power? You need to do keep, change, and change. So it's going to be keep, change, 4 plus 1. So the answer is a to the fifth power. In this lesson, we're going to talk about exponential growth. So growth means what? The data are increasing, right? And we're talking about exponential function. Exponential function like slowly increasing. And as time goes by, it's increasing really, really faster, right? Increase really faster. So we're going to talk about like something, the data numbers are increasing exponentially. So exponential growth can be modeled by the function of y is equal to a times by b to the x power. We already practiced how to graph this and we know how it looks like. So it's like increasing or decreasing. But in this lesson, we're going to talk about growth first and then decay later. All right, so the base b is going to be the growth factor. So b is growth factor, like the number that you keep multiplying. So growth factor is the number you keep multiplying. And so now a, b, we already talked about this. This is growth factor. Like you b to the x power, you see like you're multiplying this base like x times. So the number you keep multiplying, that's a growth factor. And a is going to be initial amount. Initial amount. And the growth factor is going to be 1 plus because it's increasing. So 1 plus the percent rate of the change. So if it's like 20% increase, then if it's 20% growth, and then the growth factor B is going to be 1 plus 0.2. Because 20% it's 20/100th. All right, exponential function is not like something really like difficult. You can actually like, if you read this question, then you will understand better. So initial amount, you start with 200. So year 0, like right now, it's going to be the money you have in your account is 200. And after a year, it says doubles, which means times by 2, right? Doubles. So times by 2, which is 400. 400. And after another year, then it's going to be 800. After another year, 1,600. What are you doing? Here, you just multiply by 2. Multiply by 2, 6,400. It's not going to be happening in the real world, but, let's say they're going to double it. All right. So what's the initial amount? Initial amount, $200. So 200, I'm going to put 200. And what's the growth factor? What's the number that you keep multiplying here? It's doubled, which means 2. So growth factor is going to be 2. And how much money will she have in her account after 9 years? So as we talked about the form of the exponential growth, let's go back to exponential function. Exponential function, you have initial amount and you have growth factor to the x power. Initial amount, 200, and growth factor 2 times by 2 to the x power. So now, what about 9 years? You're going to plug it in. 200 times by 2 to the what power? 9th power. If you plug it in, then you will get the answer. 2 to the 9th power is 2 to the 9th power is 512. So let's multiply this. If you multiply this, it's going to be 102,400. We have another question. I need you to solve this by yourself, and we're going to check these answers together in a few minutes. All right, let's check these answers. So I'm going to construct a table, and then I'm going to give you the equation. Here's the answers. I need you to copy this down if you don't have your work. And just try to remember what's the initial amount and what's the growth factor.